That felt like a good name for it. Man, that ginger hitting. Sorry, that's spicy, bro. Way to relive. Oh, yeah.
He means he's getting punched in the face by a ginger, by the way, not actually like eating ginger.
Steve, no. All right. Welcome to part 5 of the Lunch Table Talk Show. Today is essentially Throwback Thursday, metaphorically and literally. And if you've read the description, which y'all should start doing that, we're going to be talking about old games, movies, animation, everything from back in our day, which covers a couple different generations depending who you talk to.
Which for me was ancient to go compared to your day, which was like my teenage years.
To be fair, there's still... I've already come past 2 generations. My brothers don't know what I talk about half the time. It hurts. It physically hurts. But something I want to do before we start talking about all this, I need to settle a debate from last podcast that we started having. It went on for a minute or two. Let me just let it settle and keep going. I want to talk about the legendary Super Saiyan.
Oh no.
I just want to talk about the story of it, because I just thought about this. You are right.
No, what? Say it again, one more time.
You are right, but listen to me first.
Okay.
Goku is not the legendary Super Saiyan. He is, like, the Super Saiyan form, that's not what the story is talking about.
Okay.
The story is specifically talking about Broly and his power, which is the power of a giant ape.
Okay.
Why they don't have him go Golden Ape, I don't know. But that story specifically references that power. The regular Super Saiyan, like 2, 3, all of them, that has nothing to do with the story. Those are separate from Saiyan history.
Okay.
That's why they don't link up, like when we were debating all that. Broly, however, is the canonical story, and Bardock, if you believe that's canon, which Bardock's canon. I don't care what anybody says.
Hello?
Quick mini rave.
I just want to circle back to part where I'm right again. You were so adamant that
I will downgrade you to half right.
No, I was right. You.
Yeah, Broly is what that story talks about,
Just
which is the legendary Super Saiyan is a great ape's power being pulled forward in any form.
Later.
The hair was not necessarily as important to listen to the golden part, because Broly's hair isn't even gold, it's green.
To quote some things I learned in school, well, I should say paraphrase. Sometimes you just do shit because it looks cool. So, you know.
That's fair.
My confusion was always like I thought like the Super Saiyan form was the giant golden ape.
That is.
So I had no idea how the other forms fit into that.
Yeah, originally when they talked about it before Broly was canon, because the original movies weren't, they said that you obviously saw when Vegeta saw Goku go Super Saiyan, he's like, that's the legendary Super Saiyan, da-da-da, it's the golden hair from the story. But if you look deeper into it, and then Broly finally being made canon and released, you realize Broly is truly the legendary Super Saiyan.
He's the one of legend.
Yes, he is the one of legend. The regular Super Saiyan form isn't that special.
Broly still has a tail, right?
Yeah. If it is, it's under the ear that he wears.
That might be the thing, right? Because
it never showed it getting cut off. Paragus has his, so I would assume Broly has his.
You never... It was my understanding that the Super Saiyan problem was that like they couldn't go Giant Ape because they didn't have a tail anymore. Because apparently that's just how tails work for Saiyans. But if Broly lost his tail at some point, that would explain why he doesn't go Golden Ape.
Yeah,
but it still contains the power. To the internet! Away!
I don't think it ever shows it in the movie, because you see him with it as a kid, but when they show adult Broly, you see it. The new Broly.
Does Broly...
The reason he didn't go Giant Ape, we're not sure if he has a tail or not.
Does Broly have a tail?
You might need to look up Super Broly. Oh, hey, that's from the Kakarot game, where they made fake tails for him to wear. Because that's how Saiyans go fishing. But
his dad cut his tail off.
Really?
Yeah. Broly's
That
own
makes a lot of
superpowers proved
sense.
to be even too much for his rather strict pops, so he cut off Broly's tail to keep him from changing.
You know, that makes a lot of sense, and that would explain why he doesn't go giant ape.
Yeah.
Because if you look at his rage form, that is grade ape power in human form.
That makes sense. Yeah, that would. Then we're circled back around to that makes a lot more sense because Super Saiyans can imbue the power of Super Saiyan.
Yep.
But they can't go Golden Ape because they don't have tails.
Right.
So that makes sense.
So yeah, that all loops around nicely. I'm glad we settled the beef that I've been holding on to for 2 weeks.
Yeah. The last time we had this podcast, weren't we all sick?
No, that was the one before
Was
that.
that two more
the last
okay.
one was with Ethan,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah, the target manager.
Yeah, that one.
I forget how that beef started, but I want you to know I've been thinking about this since Saturday.
Well, I just want to, I'm not the victory lap, but I'm just happy that you've come around to the understanding that I was right. So, don't question me again.
Yeah, I'm not liking this. I want to say you were wrong now, but
Just out of spite.
yeah, just out of spite. Golden Ape's not real anymore. There is a theory that the original Super Saiyan God wasn't Goku either. That there was one
Like,
before him, but I know nothing on that.
Post Boo Saga, it's real patchy for me as far as lore goes. So,
It gets weird. When Goku goes Ultra Instinct, for some reason, there's a great ape roar in his voice whenever he yells. Like actually, like they pulled into his roar and overlaid it with his voice, so whenever he yells, it is literally a Golden Ape yelling. And nobody has explained that yet.
again, I feel like DBZ just kind of does shit because it looks and or sounds cool.
Yeah.
What a show. That was part of my DBZ was part of my youth.
So yeah, it goes back.
So we circled back around to that. Another thing that was part of my youth that is
Childhood.
beyond your generation is the Sega Genesis. I loved the Sega Genesis.
I played a little bit of that. John, have you played Sega Genesis a lot? Or...
Not really.
Genesis, then I had an N64. Then we skipped the PlayStation 1 and went straight to the PlayStation 2.
Well, so I started on a PS2 and an N64. They were my starter consoles. So I like the N64. The controller weird though.
Mm-hmm.
The 3-prong controller.
Mm-hmm. You get used to it though.
Yeah, you figured out how to work it.
Yeah,
You just keep moving your hand.
and when you play N64 on totally legitimate means that require other controllers, it maps pretty well.
Totally real N64. I guess I'm trying to think of some like highly influential like cartoons and stuff from my childhood. Obviously, Dragon Ball Z. That's what really like pulled me into the anime scene.
It didn't pull me into the anime scene, but it exposed me to it. Scooby-Doo was big for me.
Yep, that
I
was
love
my
me some Scooby-Doo. I was around for the beginning of SpongeBob.
Oh shit.
You know, the first like 4 seasons are good, and then it starts to kind of die off after that.
The animation's just so bad. Like not bad, but compared to the newer animations and stuff, it's old.
Yeah, but like, I mean, that's part of the charm of the show, though, is that animation. Once they started doing things that are clearly tailored to its audience, I started to not really appreciate it as much as it was. Because what I appreciated about SpongeBob when it first came out is that it didn't cater to kids. It just told a story in this world and put them in ridiculous situations, which is what you should do when it comes to cartoons.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I remember constantly arguing with my friend over what color Plankton and Squidward were. Because for the longest part of my childhood, I was a firm believer in green Squidward. Like a teal green Squidward.
yeah, I can see that.
But my friend was adamant that he was blue.
He's
Until we realized...
something mixed with green, that's
Yep.
for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't until we realized you can change TV settings
Mm.
that we realized, hey, color gradient plays
God, I
a role.
remember the big old fat TVs with the change the color temperature, and it changes
Good
everything on the
RGB.
screen.
Mm.
You fucking put your hand on it, it's all staticky. Like,
Oh, you mean when you touch it, you felt like you had a key in your hands?
yeah. I remember I was in 2nd grade when Ed, Edd n Eddy did premiered. What a great show that is.
I think I was like early elementary school whenever that was starting up. What year did that start up? And
I was in 2nd grade when it came now. So
Never mind.
You were for sure not elementary school. I want to say it's
Because I know it ran into the early 2000s.
99.
Started in 99?
Mm-hmm.
I was born the year after.
Ow. Oh, that hurts.
I was born the year after Ed, Edd and Eddie.
I was telling him I remember when Ed, Edd and Eddie debuted. I was in like second grade. He goes, I was born the next year.
Ed, Edd and Eddie premiered in 1999. Yep. I thought it was like 2000, 2001. In which case, I still would have been wrong. I wasn't in school yet. I like that Ed, Edd and Eddie though.
I was the tail end of the Hanna-Barbera era. So like, the daytime cartoons were like the Flintstones, Jetsons. They were reruns almost consistently, but still.
I remember watching the Jetsons a good bit because my mom really liked that. So we had like the Jetsons movie and everything.
It was the golden age of Cartoon Network with like Powerpuff Girls,
The Teen Titans, the semi-gritty Teen Titans. I love that show. There are so many unanswered questions. Disney, get on. I don't know if they have control over it. Get on making season 7. Don't let it be like Star Wars. Don't let it die on season 6. Have you watched all of the Teen Titans cartoon?
No.
No? Oh, okay. Do you know who Tara is?
No.
Okay. She has like geo powers.
Geez, with a name like Tara, I only could have
Yeah, right. She controls rocks and stuff, and she had a deep character arc. Because at first she was just super powered and scared and everything. Then she meets Beast Boy and them, and joins Beast Boy and everybody, and starts learning from them. Then Slade gets to her. Deathstroke. Yeah, we don't know who he is. He gets to her, pulls her to the dark side, and then she's constantly bouncing back and forth because she wants to be good, but she's scared to be good that Slade's going to kill everybody if she does. So you see her in this constant battle of flip-flopping back and forth, and there's a deep internal struggle and everything, and her thinking people hate her and everything. But towards the end, at some point, she dies, but not in a natural way. Like, her body is like stone. Like, her body's like encased in stone and everything. So they have her underneath the Titan Tower. There's caves. She's underneath there, and they have her down there like a statue. So that way her body would be safe if they could find a way to bring her back. So at the beginning of the last episode, Beast Boy goes down there and is talking to her because he was in love with her at one point. Gets a call, runs, hero shit. Well, while they're doing hero shit, he swears that he sees Tara going to school, but not like she's just normal. So this whole episode is him trying to talk to her and get to know that girl and everything, and she swears she doesn't know him, she doesn't have powers, and he keeps trying to do things to like awaken her powers and stuff like that, and she's just freaked by it. Well, they separate at one point. So he's like, maybe it's not her. Goes down to try and see her statue. Her statue's gone. So like she's actually gone. And that's when he's like, it's definitely her. She's just got amnesia or doesn't want to remember. So he chases, like runs to her school to talk to her one last time. She said, like, I know who you're talking about and everything. I understand your pain, but she's gone. You gotta let go. She starts to walk away. He gets a call that there's another supervillain. He runs out of the school. The screen turns white. That's the end of the series. I was very mad because it explained nothing and resolved nothing.
Gotta love when the powers that be are like, you know what, it might be good, but it doesn't pull in as much money as our stupid nonsense bullshit that we put out, so we're gonna cancel it.
I'm just glad Robin got to finish his goddamn arc with Slade and everything, because Slade had died, but they had his stuff, and whenever Robin went down to look at Slade's like gear and everything, it released a toxin that got to him, and he kept seeing Slade. Like, at one point he's fighting Slade, in quotes, outside in a rainstorm. Starfire shows up at like this forest like tree line and says, Robin, what are you doing? And Robin goes, stop him. And he runs past her, and she's like, Robin runs up, grabs her, and he's like, why didn't you stop him? He ran right past you. And she's just like, Robin, no one's there. Because nobody else can see him. And that's how you start to find out, oh, he's going batshit, seeing things. But the coolest part was, at one point, Raven uses her powers and goes in Robin's head to see through his eyes. And Robin was physically seeing Slade and getting, like, the shit beat out of him by Slade. So, and she felt it. Like, Slade punched him and she got knocked out of his head. And she's like, what?
Boy.
Because when they went to help him, there was no Slade. He was just fighting air.
Right.
But physically getting hurt. Yeah, no, it's fucking
That's
crazy.
That's some next level toxins.
Yeah. But, at the end of it, they help him. They're like, Slade's dead. We just gotta let his gear alone. And then it cuts back to his gear one last time. And you see the eye on the mask light up and everything. And then that's the end of Slade. Until Robin goes to hell and they team up in hell.
That's rad.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the old Deadpool team up comics. Those are some of my favorite. He teams up with Galactus. He becomes the new Silver Surfer in one of those.
I think I know what you're talking
It's a series.
about.
So it's a series of one-offs in which Deadpool just teams up with a random hero, including like obscure ones like Hell Cow. The big one being he becomes the Silver Surfer for Galactus. Galactus hates him so much he fires him. Not for being bad at his job either. Like, he was still good at being the Silver Surfer. Just that he's so unbelievably annoying. That Galactus was like, no more of this. It teams up with Dracula, I think, is one as well. I have a bunch of them at my house.
Anytime I hear about Dracula, all I can think is fucking Dracula, it's a fucking nerd.
There was also
Where's my money?
USA Ace, who's a truck driver, like a robot. I don't know. I've never heard of him until the team up. But I'm trying to think of what other stuff came from my youth that I can think about.
I know even for me, a lot of stuff I watched as a kid isn't around anymore. I watched a lot of that one-shot Cartoon Network
I used to watch the Mighty Ducks movies religiously when I was growing up. Part of why I love hockey so much is because of those movies. I played hockey for that matter.
I didn't really care for them, but I wasn't big on it's not that bad, I just wasn't big on hockey.
That's fair.
So I
That's
didn't.
fair. Yeah.
Not that they were bad.
It's for sure a niche franchise. Like, I mean, if you have the ability to watch the movies, you should all watch them. When I was growing up, I loved them in the order of 2, 1, 3, because I thought 3 was like, oh, it's too serious. And then like a couple years ago, I was like, they're sitting in a drawer. I have all 3 on DVD, and I was like, I can watch these again. So I watched them in order, and I was like, damn. 3 is the best fucking one. the story, like the characters are lit. So here's the thing. So the first one is like basically the Sandlot, but for hockey.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's about a silly group of kids, the popular of the time, like, you know, the Goonies, the Sandlot, shit like that. The second one is basically Go America propaganda, except our enemies are from Iceland.
Oh,
so,
yeah, okay.
So like the team gets to play for Team USA in the Junior Goodwill Games, which is supposed to be the Olympics.
Okay, yeah, I remember watching that.
And then the third one, it gives them all like actual characters and stuff. So like and motivations and things they want and problems and stuff, because it's a coming of age story in the third one. You know, they all get to go. They all go to a private school. They don't have their coach anymore. He takes a position with the Junior Goodwill Games. So they don't have their coach, so they get this new guy who's a hard ass. And then it's mainly about Charlie, who's the main character in, I guess, all of them. His coming of age, like, understanding that, like, you can't just do what you want all the time. You have to be able to, like, sometimes you got to do shit you don't want to do so that you can get to where you want to go. Because there's a whole arc in the movie about him cutting school and like never wanting to go back to school. He gets kicked off the hockey team, or not kicked off, but he quits the hockey team. It's really good, and the action scenes are incredible and fun.
Sounds like one of our Samoa High arcs.
Yeah, Samoa. Those listening, Collin and I, when we worked together, we haven't done it in a while. We were coming up with like story arcs for people that we work with for an anime adaptation of our lives that's not related to our lives at all. So we created Samoa High School in the vein of Kirkwood basketball. I was team captain. Collin was the assistant team captain. And it led to this thing that we say to each other all the time. If you're stocking something in an island, you drop a box, and you're just like, Collin, get it together. We got a big game in 2 weeks.
I remember though, we had the big game against the 3,000 piece truck.
Yeah. There's always another big game on the horizon.
Don't get excited. There's always another big game.
That was the time we gave Gordy the arc where he's like
Oh, where
he's the janitor of the school, but he is actually like
a
former
basketball
champion.
prodigy.
Yeah, he played for the last time our school won a championship. He was like on a starter.
Yeah.
He puts one of the characters in his place by dunking on him.
With long flowing silver hair.
Yeah. Like he keeps it in a ponytail, and then like right before they start playing, he takes out the ponytail and just does the Samurai Jack thing where he expands out. We do some dumb shit here.
I just want everyone to know this is what happens. This is why you can't find employees in Walmart.
We're too busy coming up with fake stories for
the lives we can't live.
Yep. Yeah, because we're busy putting shit on shelves.
Speaking of Samurai Jack, I think that got an ending a couple years ago. I think they fully finished that and everything.
It's now on HBO Max, along with almost all other Cartoon Network shows.
I did not know that. Did you see they? I think the same creators of that are making a show called Primal.
I've heard that it's out now. Yeah.
There's no speaking.
Interesting.
Like the closest thing to speaking is like yells and grunts. They form a fluid story and create like genuine emotion and everything without voice though, and it's so fucking cool because it's caveman.
Yeah, I saw the preview for it.
It's so fucking cool, dude. Like, because you can see like genuine emotion and everything. Honestly, I feel you get more emotion and connected through this.
Well,
having to experience it that
so
way.
that's the thing, right? Is like you have to when working for an audience, you know, it's always show don't tell. Right. That's the big kick, especially in film and TV, or movies and TV, I should say.
Right.
But when you force the audience to make their own assumptions about what's happening, it engrosses them more in the story.
Forces them to connect.
Yeah. Now that can also backfire because if you don't give them enough information and you tell them to make their own conclusions, they're going to be like, "I'm so confused. I'm done watching this shit."
Right. So. This one does it pretty good because the caveman's best friend is a T-Rex.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's fucking great.
I want a T-Rex best friend.
I don't know what time period it is though, because at one point
probably ambiguous, I would assume.
Well, so he's a caveman, like straight up caveman. Right. There are ships and boats with like Empire type people.
Yeah, I would assume it's ambiguous. So like a fictional world like Samurai Jack was.
At one point, I remember seeing a clip. The T-Rex has babies, and I can't remember if they kill them or just like knock out the babies. But the dude does that, and the T-Rex just mows through everybody in a rage.
I mean, it's a fucking T-Rex, bro.
The scariest part I saw was I watched a short about it. It was a virus that infected a brontosaurus or brachiosaurus, one of those long neck bitches.
One of them big longy boys.
But it zombified it basically. Oh. It gave it a taste for flesh. It was disintegrating its. Like, you ever seen the deer that get that brain disease where they'll start to deteriorate shit? Like that, but on a higher scale, to the point where it was killing everything but its nervous system. So it couldn't even register pain or anything, but it could still move and shit. And if you got the virus in you, there was no way to stop it. So it was chasing the T-Rex and the caveman, hunting them down, and it fucking jumps. Like, I'm talking like jumps 30, 40 feet in the fucking air. Brontosaurus don't do that.
No.
Like, it looks nasty though, because it's the whole time its mouth is hung open, and it's just like roaring the whole time, and that's like it. Because it has like no control over its vocal cords and everything. So it is like consistency, like roaring and grunting and everything nonstop.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it is terrifying to look at. Oh, I missed a phone call.
Sad, man.
I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Okay, bye. John, you and I are closer in age than he is, so you probably remember a lot of the similar things that I do. I miss when you would sit down to play an N64 game and you're like the graphics were terrible. Considered like for the time they were top notch, but like considered they were terrible. You had to sit there and like create your own. Your brain had to work instead of nowadays where they're so. I'm not shitting on games now because they're gorgeous, but there's a comparative lack of connection because you don't have the ability to expand your thoughts and like do your own imagining.
Yeah.
I remember when I played Zelda for the first time, it like blew my brains out of my head. Like oozed them all out. It was incredible. The way the music is in that game compared to how it's structured, it's like the world's first open world game, really. I should say semi-open world because it's a linear plot, but there's side quests. So I would argue it's an open world because you can go in any direction you want. But right. Yeah. Do you remember when SpongeBob first came out?
Yeah. Time ago.
I remember when it first came out, a lot of my friends were like, "This shit's dumb. I don't like it." And then 3 years later, everybody was a huge fan of it. It worked its magic on us. Stockholm. It was the only thing on TV. Do you remember Slime Time Live?
Not much.
Oh man, it was a show right before. It was like right after school. They did like it was like a 5 minute in between each cartoon, and they would do like some kind of slime related activity.
I do remember that.
Then there was the show with Pick Boy. Right after that. Ah man, that was such a weird time for Nickelodeon. I feel like I wonder what Pick Boy's doing these days. I wonder if Collin will remember Pick Boy. I wonder if anybody remembers Pick Boy, or if it's just me. But he got like his own show.
Oh God.
What?
Pick Boy?
Yeah. He was like a fake superhero. Dressed like exactly how you would imagine a fake superhero to be.
I do remember that guy.
Do you remember Pick Boy? What? Do you remember Nickelodeon's Pick Boy?
No.
Do you remember Slime Time Live?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to make
Pick Boy.
Pick Boy.
What the fuck is that?
That's Pick Boy.
Let's see what he's doing now. What it looks like now. Is he doing music?
Jeff Sutphin.
Jeff Sutton.
Let's look at Wikipedia.
Dancer.
This is 45.
Brain Surge. That was the show.
Pick Live.
That sounds familiar.
Maybe You Pick. I think You Pick Live was the one I was.
So here's Nicholas' game show. My Family's Got Guts.
Producer of You Pick Live.
I just remember one day watching Nickelodeon. He just showed up. Like just no context, nothing. He was just here's
What's
Pick
he
Boy.
doing now?
He started hosting 101 Ways to Leave a Game Show for ABC.
And that was in freaking
2012. As of 19, he's a co-executive producer on Ryan's Mystery Playdate.
Really?
Oh no, is that Brian?
Yeah,
probably.
I think so.
Oh man, that kid's gonna be a problem in a couple of years. And it's not even his fault because like, kid's got everything he could ever want, right? Like his parents are. I mean, so I watched this documentary on like the positives and negatives of Brian's world or whatever it's called, and the kid's has everything he's ever wanted.
Oh, yeah.
He can do whatever he wants. As soon as he comes into like his teenage years and puberty, that kid that kid's gonna be a fucking problem.
Bro, he's got a fucking...
I mean, I doubt he's got friends, or many friends, I should say, because like,
Or every friend.
I mean, or people
Not in
that
a good
are
way, though.
or people that are fake friends because he's famous, you know. Like I can't imagine he can socialize normally because he's so well known.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine he just like, oh, your friend's having a birthday party, you should go hang out. No, he can't do that because there'll be like 150 people there. Oh my God, Ryan! He'll be the life of everyone's party, but not in a good way.
Yep. Bro, he's got a fucking
I just hope
clothing line, a video game, a toy line, his
Yeah.
YouTube channel, his TV show. Bro, this kid has a lot.
Yeah. I hope he uses all that money for therapy when he needs it because he's gonna need it. It's the unfortunate part of being a
It might sound
public-facing
petty.
celebrity.
It might sound petty, but I think I'm gonna be mad if he grows up perfectly fine. And that might be petty, but
That is petty. Yeah, 100% petty. But
say it's 100% petty.
it's 100% petty. But I support it. You know, we all need a little chaos in our lives. other things reminded you? Oh, you remember Nickelodeon Guts? It was like a game show for kids, but it was like a physical contest. Nickelodeon Guts. There was also Legends of the Hidden Temple, which is my favorite show from my youth, probably.
Are these all Nickelodeon shows?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I watched a lot of Nickelodeon. It wasn't until I was like, I don't know, late elementary school that I got into Disney Channel. So,
Let's say I was a big Cartoon Network kid.
yeah, Nickelodeon Guts. So they would do these physical tests and contests, and the winner got to keep one of these giant ass fucking trophies. There's this big mountain at the end, and you have to climb it and be the first one to the top. And you get points based on where you finish in each activity. Crazy ass show. I found a couple of them on YouTube one night. I was watching that. I remember Robot Wars.
That sounds familiar.
It was 2004, I think, that debuted. Which created the spin-off Junkyard Wars, which was my favorite show of mine, like from middle school. It was a show where they would get a challenge every week. Like I remember one was like, you have to build a battering ram, and the only thing they could do was use the stuff in the junkyard.
You remember? I know you were a big Nick kid, John. I think you were a big Nickelodeon.
Yeah, sort of.
I know CN had that. Cartoon Network had that small period where they tried to switch to live action because Nick was starting to do a lot of that and stuff, and they had shit like, what was it, Destroy Build Destroy and shit like that. Have you ever heard of Destroy Build Destroy?
Yeah.
I wanted to be on that just to break shit. So what you had to do was you had to break something apart, like I'm talking like cars and shit, like completely destroy it. And then there was another team, and what you did was whatever one team destroyed, the team swapped and had to build something out of that for something they were going to do later. The winning team got to blow up the losing team's shit. Now, there were times I've seen them use TNT, explosives.
Is that Andrew WK?
Yes.
Oh my god.
BSE.
I was like, hold on a second. Why do I recognize this guy wearing all white with the long black hair? That's Andrew WK, who has an incredible album. He's actually a classically trained pianist, believe it or not.
Huh. I know at one point they had the Scooby-Doo crew on. Velma, Fred, and Shaggy. I think it's who it was, or Daphne, Fred, and Shaggy.
From the live-action one?
Yep.
That's a great movie, to be honest with you. It's definitely more for like teenagers and adults, but it was a really good movie.
But they had a lot of famous people on there. Because depending on who they had on, they would do special stuff. Like, what are they? I forget exactly who it was, but they had to build boats. Like, they had to make boats out of this, like, destroyed shit that would actually float across a body of water while they had to do other shit. So, essentially, they were making mini battleships out of scrap.
That's fun.
Hole in the Wall.
Yeah.
I remember Hole in the Wall. I love Hole in the Wall. I like the traditional Japanese one, though, because it's way sillier.
Dude, what would happen? I vaguely remember that.
Do you remember MXC on Adult Swim? Was that on Adult Swim?
Yes.
Or was it Nick at Night?
I think it was on Adult Swim for a little while.
MXC. Do you remember MXC? You of all people have not seen MXC? Okay, so MXC is a Japanese. It was originally a Japanese game show that they just dub over, and it has nothing to do with what's going on.
Yeah, we should do a live stream next week and review that.
You should 100%. Your first watch of MXC.
Kenny Blankenship.
Yep. They would always have
funny.
They would always name the teams ridiculous things like CEOs for secretaries or
What the fuck?
just stupid shit like that.
Why is that's a mushroom?
Yeah, it's an actual TV show, and the actual show has nothing to do with what they dub it as.
Wait, what do you mean?
Exactly that. No, they took the show, and dubbed over it with words and stuff that have nothing to do with the actual original
ghost stories.
Show. Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty funny.
It's hilarious.
Okay, no, that looks worth it.
It's 100% worth it. Yeah, what a show that was.
I mean,
Good
we'll do that next week. We'll do a live stream. We'll review that. Or react, whatever you want to call it.
Okay for that. Critique it. shit. I think of some like movies I used to watch back in the day, but
The Disney
Dick
collection.
Romano.
yeah.
Corky Romano. Oh my god. We're watching that movie. What a dumb movie that was.
I remember for a while there, I got into Disney not Disney XD, Toon Disney for a while. Because they had like Tailspin and stuff like that. If you remember any of that. I fucking love that. There was something I used to always watch, and I can't remember the name of it. But I was so mad when Toon Disney sold out and became Disney XD. Because it wasn't the same.
I remember that.
They were doing more of the live action shows and stuff, and that was basically their live action.
The
piece.
last like Disney show that I enjoyed watching was I'm in the Band, which I thought was pretty funny. It's about a kid who joins a like 80s metal band, but they're all old, and he's like 16.
Nice. I remember hearing that name.
Yeah, they play for the band Iron Weasel.
Okay, yes.
He like loves Iron Weasel, and they need a new guitarist because their actual guitarist quit or some shit like that.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, I think I do remember that.
The songs were hysterical.
I'm about to say, I remember that because I remember the drummer very vaguely for some reason.
He's into some other stuff, if I remember it. Yeah, I'm in the Band was the last like real Disney show that I watched and enjoyed. Didn't last long though because they ran out of stuff to do with it because there's only so much you can do with that show.
Right. I don't think I really watched a lot of live action Disney stuff and enjoyed it. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody was probably about it.
That was a good one. It's a long running show too.
Yeah, because how even when they started becoming teenagers, they started going to like Sweet Life on Deck and stuff like that.
Which actually wasn't bad for a spinoff, to be honest.
It was okay at first. You can visibly see them aging as it goes on, though.
Yeah, I think they did 2 seasons of On Deck. I think they should have only did the 1.
I think it was more than that. Because as it was either that or they did a spin-off of the spin-off.
Probably.
Because I remember it being so much longer.
I know that there was the Collin Dylan Sprouse wanted to bring back Sweet Life, but they wanted to produce it and write for it. Which they're both have degrees in
right.
like
so yeah, it makes sense.
and entertainment fields and stuff as such, and they could have done it, but Disney was like, nah. Their premise was they were gonna basically train the new versions of them back at the hotel. Like they were gonna
I think
mentors.
that's pretty good.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Mosby. That actor was so good in that role. One of the best episodes I still remember was when London learns to drive. She calls the selector the Prindle. It's the D on the Prindle.
Isn't she actually pretty smart too?
Oh yeah,
in real
Lana
life?
Song she's an incredible person. Actually, she's just really good at playing somebody really stupid. And for what it's worth, Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior, she was badass in that. So.
I was guessing. Do you remember? I think he was only on Sweet Life on Deck. Woody, I think was his name. The bigger dude, big ass curly hair.
I didn't watch much On Deck.
He completely changed. Like if you look at him on the show compared to now, like it's.
What's his name?
Woody, I think. I think he's only in Sweet Life on Deck. Let's see what the pulls up. Him.
I vaguely recall him.
If I remember right, he is like completely changed because that's how he looked in Sweet Life on Deck. If you look at a picture of him now, it's like night and day. Yeah, same as the guy from Neville from Harry Potter.
Yeah,
dude.
Well, he got well, to be fair, he got handsome like as the movies went on. He started out as the dweeby fat kid, and then by the seventh, I guess
Neville Longbottom.
7 Part 2, he was like,
yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah. Do you see the change?
Holy shit!
Yes.
And that's that. You can, if you watch the movies again, pay attention to him because he gets like sexier as the movies
you
go
can
on.
see him changing as it goes.
I'm a straight guy, but like he's a handsome man.
Credit where credit.
He is a handsome man.
Yeah, he is one of the few on the cast that aged well. Because if you look like the guy that played Ron and everything, or what's the guy that played Harry's name?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe. He didn't age horribly, but
He didn't get any taller.
yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe is really, really short.
He doesn't look that great now.
He's in his late 30s now.
Yeah.
Mid late 30s. What are you trying to say? Got someone against guys in the 30s?
Maybe we do.
Really soon.
Oh no.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
He's gonna play Wolverine.
He's in
Oh, it's
a
rumors.
couple things. He was on Broadway for a bit. He played the preacher in what the hell was that show called? There was like some Wild West
He's 5'5".
joke show.
He's shorter than me. Not by much, but
Yeah, he's short. He's way short.
Weird Al is 6 foot.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah, he
God.
played Weird Al. That was his most recent role.
Oh, he's.
What? I haven't seen it yet.
There's
so
a significant height difference.
5 inches. 5 inches is not that
Rupert
bad.
Grint.
It's a.
Yeah,
Collin,
he didn't.
It's not about the 5 inches that's missing. It's about how you use the 5 inches that are there.
This is Rupert Grint.
Yeah, no, I
That's
know what it
Rob
looks like
Weasley. Yeah, he's pretty.
He took his money and
Ugh.
he took his money and like bought an ice cream truck, and that's what he does now.
What the?
Bro, he never has to work again. He's one of the 3 main characters in a multi-gazillion-dollar franchise. Like he's never gonna have to work again.
I mean, true, but he don't look good, bro. He look.
Just look what happens when you get old, bro. You just don't look good anymore.
Is he that old?
No. I don't think he looks that bad for an old. He's in his 30s.
Should be in his 30s.
He's 34. Yeah, so
He's not that old.
he doesn't look.
He
He
looks
looks.
rough
He
for
looks 30.
34.
He looks 34.
No,
bro.
he
Come
doesn't.
on. Can
He
anybody on the
looks like he's
podcast
in
even
his
see
early
what we're
40s.
looking at?
No.
I was
No,
like,
I could do that next time.
I could start googling stuff. And just
Not showing
this
the
will be the
audience.
next episode of this podcast. We just go on a Google adventure. Have you guys ever played the Wikipedia game?
The what?
You've never heard of the Wikipedia game?
No.
Oh my god! So what you do is you get 2 people. You get them both on Wikipedia. Somebody picks a topic. You hit random, and then you have to use the links in the article to first person to get to whatever you're looking for.
Oh,
Wins.
I know about that.
So if it's you and John against each other, you both hit random article, and then I give you like, let's say the Battle of the Delaware area.
Yeah, well, shit, that's
and we
right
have to find a way to get
You
to
have
that
to
just by clicking on links.
through the links in the page, not on
Bro,
the
that
not
sounds
in
like
the.
a fucking nightmare.
It's so fun, Colin. You have no idea
I want to do that.
because you could start off with like Louis the 16th and wind up in the invasion of Iraq in 2004.
Let's see how well this comes up. It's on my phone.
Alright, yeah,
Oh, what
that
a-
is not a good picture. But
Yeah. I saw that one and this one first. Yeah, that one looked
Yeah,
pretty
people
rough.
can see. I would have to readjust our
you
setting.
know who does look good though? The guy who played Draco. Tom,
Oh, Draco Malfoy. Tom Felton.
Tom
Right?
Felton. Yeah, he writes his own music now.
Yeah, Tom Felton. He aged pretty
Tom
good.
Felton looks like a bro. Like I could bro out with that guy.
Tom Felton.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
He didn't age too bad. He played Draco Malfoy. He just gets a lot of bad pictures taken of him.
Well, the problem is like at his age, with his like hair type, when they slicked his hair back like that, it does
It's
damage to your
noticeable.
hairline. Yeah, it's not good for your hairline.
Let's see, next time we can do.
You can
Oh,
really see him
set it
change
up.
after the Harry Potter
He's got a
era.
book out now.
Does
Did we actually sell it here?
Oh,
Yeah,
Beyond, I think it's called Beyond the Wand or something like
they have Michelle Obama's book
yeah,
too.
next time we'll do
Oh.
the
that.
website.
There's a book
thing.
from a dead guy out there. The hell's that guy's name?
Library has a lot of books from dead guys.
There's a Rush Limbaugh book out there. That guy's dead.
What the fuck?
He's been dead for a while.
Tom Felton really puts me in mind of Loki.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He could probably do it. Just probably no long hair.
That's what I'm thinking. We've all seen the Loki actor without like being Loki. So
What is that?
what the?
What is that?
Why? Why Baby Draco look like that?
Is that somebody's art or what is? That's incredible. It's perfect.
Why you gotta do him like that, bro?
That's incredible.
Can I see this stuff? No, I can't.
Oh, we go into the.
I was gonna actually try to open the picture. Can I zoom in? What's this?
Is it on his Instagram? It is on his Instagram.
Oh, you can put shaders on it.
No. He looks like a poster child for a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, he does, don't he? That was another good
Yeah,
movie.
I
I wish they did that.
I like.
Parts.
I read the books. I didn't watch the movie.
The movie does not do justice considering there's what, like 10
Oh, here it
books.
is. I think it's an AI art. Look at that.
Good God.
I'm so disturbed.
It's a series of unfortunate events. The movie wasn't bad. It does not do the books justice because there's 10 books, right?
Which part? Which one did you
A
watch?
series of unfortunate events. There's a bunch of those.
Series or the movie? Jim Carrey.
The movie is what
There's like I think 30 some books.
Oh, I didn't know realize
So
there
there's a
was
series on Netflix with Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and PH played it.
is that one good?
Books.
It's not bad. It's I don't know how many episodes.
I know. I didn't mind the movie, but it's not. There's a lot of like whole books that are left out.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm not
Because I know in the one book, I think they end up at it's like an abandoned gas station or something like that. That's like not even in this movie.
Yeah, you should watch the series on Netflix. It shows a lot more.
There's 13 books. Why did I think there were more? Where did I leave off at?
Could be like Mr. Bean. You know, Mr. Bean's only 6 episodes, but each episode is like
Yeah,
8
3
hours
seasons.
long.
There's 3 seasons. I don't know how many episodes from each.
I finished Way of the House in season 2. Speaking of short, the episodes are 17 to 18 minutes long, but they're full of like mini episodes.
Yeah, it's like
So there's
5 or 6 mini
8
episodes.
episodes in season 1.
Oh, here's something. So I remember watching that 70s show in my youth. I started watching that 90s show, and I don't hate it yet.
I know what's his name isn't in there, and I found out why.
Who?
The curly hair guy who's always gets stuck with.
Yeah.
He's got rape charges against him right now, so he's not in the
Okay.
show.
From multiple different women that were covered up apparently by the Church of Latter-day Saints.
Do they have all the original cast? Except for him?
So Eric and Donna show up in the beginning. Red and Kitty are the 2 of the main
The old
characters. Kelso shows up, and so does Jackie.
I'll have to look at it. See what it's like.
Wasn't it?
It's not terrible. To be genuinely honest with you, it keeps the flavor of the old show by moving it to a newer generation, and it reminds me a lot of my youth, and it makes me both nostalgic and happy.
Was Kutcher in that show?
Ashton Kutcher, yeah, he played Kelso.
Okay.
Kelso has a kid in the new one,
Oh.
who's apparently not an idiot.
Holy shit. He getting old. That makes sense, though.
How old is he?
Fez also shows up in the first episode.
I didn't watch a lot of that
79.
stuff.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Damn, he does not look that old. He looks old, don't get me wrong, but I didn't.
You know, you don't look 79, though.
How old is he? How old is she?
Remember Joe Rupp? How much you would have bet she's also, like, up there?
71? Yeah.
She still looks mostly the same as she did.
Yeah.
in 70s.
Yeah, her hair color stuck pretty good and everything.
But I'm not going to spoil it for you. But the premise is that Eric and Donna had a kid shortly a year after they left Point Place, the end of that 70s show, and then she's going to spend the summer with Kitty and Red, and that's the premise of the whole show. It, like I said, it keeps a lot of the charm of the original show. So I'm not like it's not like so. This is cycling back to the things that I used to watch. Full House when I was younger used to be on pretty often. Like
Yeah.
Good Night.
Fuller House.
Fuller House is fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
The show's fucking bad. I try to give shows, especially like this, like a full season before I'm like, you know what, I'm never gonna watch this again. I couldn't make it, man. I couldn't do it.
Saget die while they were trying to produce
I
it?
don't remember,
Or did
man.
he die after?
He was in the first season.
Okay, I'm
I
gonna
haven't.
assume he died after.
I made it like 3 episodes to the end. I was like, this show is it's so bad. Like I roll and groan, like uncontrollably, just reactionarily. So bad.
We're about at the end here.
Okay.
Alright, let's wrap up. Fuller House is dog shit. That 90s show isn't bad. Old stuff is cool.
Bring back the OG shit.
Bring back the
Yeah.
OG shit.
Thanks for watching.
Take it easy, and we'll be doing our next podcast in
What
2
is-
weeks. I don't know what day that is.
What do you want to do? What is it? The Wikipedia thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
should do
I'm
that.
game to
We
do
should
that.
All right. See you later.
I can't believe we never
Take
played
it
the
easy,
Wikipedia
everybody.
game. We used to play the Wikipedia game in high school.